Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. We are still on Van Helsing's path, and we just started chapter 10, I believe. Hopefully I got that right. But whatever the case, we shall continue on, so sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Could you please wait here a while longer, Mr. Van Helsing? You're not being accused of anything, but these are regulations. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you're only performing your duties in these circumstances. But I'd like you to let her rest. She's been held captive for the last several days. The officer nods in response, but I hold up my hand and shake my head. Thank you, but I'm fine. I think I can give helpful information to the yard, and I'm not seriously injured. If that's what you want, I'm not going to stop you. After the recent events, the underground explosion was detected out in the streets as well. When we escaped from Jack's hideout using a sewage canal, the opening was surrounded by officers from Scotland Yard. Once we explained everything, the events leading up to and the cause of the explosion, it caused quite a stir. Although it's been a while since we left the sewer, Van Helsing and I have been unable to leave. Saint Germain, who had been looking for us, was drawn to the commotion and discovered us here by coincidence. My, things certainly are festive around here. Though our safety's been guaranteed by the Queen herself, we may be accused of something if we're seen together. I and the rest of our merry band shall retire to the mansion for now. You two can return once you're cleared of guilt. Saint Germain leaves as silently as he had appeared. Luckily for us, the suitcase I had been carrying was picked up by the yard while they were searching the area for evidence. Tell me if you really do need rest. He says this to me in a low voice, and I look up at him. You're much more tired than you know, both mentally and physically. That's not true. If you want to hide your exhaustion from me, you'll have to become a better liar. Your hands are shaking. I only notice this once he points it out. Honestly, the fear and hate in the darkness, the sewer red with blood, Jack's pitiful cries, everything I've experienced today is stuck in my head, and I start shaking every time my thoughts wander to the day's events. Don't dwell on it too much. There are many unfortunate and tragic things in this world. You just happen to find one. Van Helsing doesn't even look at me as he says this. He is watching the officers restlessly moving about the area. Thank you, Van Helsing. Don't worry about me rescuing you either. It was merely coincidence that I happened to be the first one to find you. Yes, I know, but... What else is there? You didn't kill Jack. That made me happy. That I didn't punish a murderer? That I let him run away? You have pretty strange ideals. No, it's not that. The thing is, whenever you try to kill someone, you look like you're in pain. I see it in your face. It was the same with Finis. I know you really didn't want to kill him, but I also felt that you were so sad that you had to do it. Tell me, Van Helsing, what exactly happened between you and Finis? There is a long silence. The night breeze blows by, and just as Van Helsing opens his mouth to speak, Sorry to keep you waiting. A voice booms out at us from the side. The person standing there is someone we both met several times before. You're...
Yes, Rempart Leonhardt, leader of the Royal Guardsmen. Thank you for your contribution to the nation. Your courage is the pride of Britain.
His voice is so loud that it hurts my ears. I have to cover them. Besides, this man tried to kidnap me in the past. I reflexively take a step back.
Oh, I won't do you any harm. As long as the Queen has ordered your protection, I will always be on your side.
On our side. Maybe for now. It doesn't feel quite right, knowing that we fought in the past.
And why has an Imperial Guard like you been assigned to this case?
Yes, well, since the guard has tried to conceal the situation from the general public, there have been many casualties. Her Majesty the Queen would like me to intervene in this investigation on her behalf in order to prevent further deaths.
Most likely so that the public won't catch on to Jack Blackman's true identity. I'm aware that the Queen authorized the hidden strength experiments. It's the same for anyone in power. Cover up whatever smells bad.
Her Majesty protects this land with the resolve to do whatever it takes, even if it taints her hands. You wouldn't understand.
Leonhardt looks somewhat pained. He shakes his head when he notices me looking at him.
And this isn't the only reason.
What else is there? Leonhardt leans in towards us, his intense expression making it clear that he is extremely conscious of those around us.
This incident's roots run deeper than you might think. The Queen is actually more focused on Jack's accomplice, who broke him out of heavy guard and helped him escape.
Was this accomplice working alone?
I've been told there were several. They apparently used such extreme methods that even skilled watchmen couldn't react. The Queen speculates that an organization with such powerful members will become a danger to the nation in due time.
I see. So this is based on your leader's gut instincts.
Van Helsing, do you think... As if he knows what I'm about to say, Van Helsing turns to face Leonhardt.
Rempart, we have information regarding the suspects who are believed to have aided Jack in his escape.
What, you do?
I'm willing to give you that information, but there is a condition. From now on, you will tell me anything and everything you find out about those pulling the strings behind what happened here.
What are you going to do with that information?
I'm just curious by nature.
Leonhardt looks at Van Helsing with searching eyes for a moment, but Van Helsing only stares back coolly.
Van Helsing, I know of your achievements. If you say you're going to assist in this investigation, I promise to share.
Fine, it's a deal. I will tell you what we saw.
I nod, and we tell him about the things we saw and experienced in the sewage canal. Jack had been told to look for a certain individual by an unknown person. That person left a message for him in the sewer's canals. Azoth. I have no idea what it means, but that was the name the person controlling Jack was calling themselves. As long as Azoth lives, incidents like this will continue, or so that person claimed. Azoth also declared that if we don't find the individual they were looking for, the body count will only rise, and London will overflow with evil.
Azoth, what does that mean? London will overflow with evil. And who is Azoth searching for? If we're able to contact this individual, we may advance in our investigation.
I don't think that will happen. I don't know anything.
Huh? Why do you think that? You must be...
Oh no, I responded without thinking.
Idiot. You should have kept quiet.
You're part of the wretched new generation of London that gives up without trying. Never give in. Challenge yourself.
Right.
Good thing he's the simple type.
I nod in agreement.
So, Azoth, eh? I don't know what it means, but it may be related to a number of incidents in the past few days.
What incidents? What happened?
Jack's escape stole the spotlight, but violent crime has actually been on the rise over the past several days.
I suppose he's making good on his promise. It's likely the number will only increase moving forward.
Leonhardt nods, his face serious.
It is the duty of we British knights to prevent that from happening. I shall do my utmost to carry out this mission.
That's great, but isn't it your job as the Imperial Guard to ensure the protection of the royal family? Running around London is going to hamper your actual duties, isn't it?
Not to worry, it is the Queen's command that providing safety for the people leads to the safety of the royal personage. And so, What is it that I, who have sworn my sword to the Queen, must do? I must simply make Her Majesty's will a reality.
He's so loud, but he's also unbelievably passionate.
Can't you have a conversation without shouting? Excuse me! I get heated when it comes to Her Majesty. We'll pursue Azoth, using our own methods. Let's meet regularly to exchange what intelligence we've gathered.
Leonhardt nods vigorously and holds out his hand.
A great deal has happened between us, but let us fight side by side to ensure the protection of Britain and justice.
Van Helsing doesn't take Leonhardt's hand. Instead, he looks down at it, then back up at Leonhardt.
There is no justice in this world worth fighting for. I fight for myself and only myself, that's all.
Leonhardt's brow furrows, and he's about to say something. Sir Leonhardt, a body has been discovered beneath the debris.
What? I'll be right there. You two, I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Leonhardt raises his voice and noisily takes off.
Huh. Simple, but he may still be of use to us.
Van Helsing.
What?
Do you think we can leave now?
How should I know?
After that, by the time we finish speaking with Leonhardt regarding how we get in contact with each other, it is already midnight. It's pitch black.
Yes.
Van Helsing, thank you so much for today.
I told you there's no need for gratitude. How many times must you thank me?
You saved my life. I'll never be able to thank you enough. But, Van Helsing, I really can't go back to the others.
Why do you say that?
If I'm there, I'll cause trouble for everyone else. I can't put them through that.
What's your reason?
He sighs, mildly annoyed, then stops. He looks silently up at the sky.
The others will decide for themselves whether you're too much trouble or not, but I need you to stay close to me.
What?
I need you.
My heart hurts. Just that one phrase. When Van Helsing said that he needs me, my whole chest felt tight. Why?
The reason is simple.
Oh, don't tell me he's just gonna say he needs her as, like, bait for Finnis. He turns and looks me straight in the eye, but for some reason, his gaze is colored with rejection, much like when we had first met.
Finnis lives.
I knew it! Damn you! Damn you, Van Helsing!
He is still alive, and he is after you. It might even be possible to learn his secrets through you.
A different pain arises in my chest. I wonder why.
Next time, I will finally be the one to put an end to him.
I genuinely feel sad for some reason.
That's why I need you.
Why? Why do you have so much hate for Finnis? Why must you kill him?
That's none of your concern.
He's not letting me in. For some reason, this makes me angry, but at the same time, I feel that he's right, and hate myself for feeling this way. It is my concern. The words burst out of me. Finnis has an important connection to me and Father, and besides, Van Helsing, you're my precious friend, aren't you? He quietly exhales, then glares back at me.
At what point did we become friends?
What? His tone is annoyed as usual. But this time, it's not the familiar annoyance between two friends. This has a distinct ring of rejection.
I'm merely using you to accomplish my own objectives. Isn't that the same for you, Cardia? The only reason we're together in the first place is to further our own interests. Nothing will ever change that fact. Nothing.
But I consider you a friend. We would like something more. But I think of you as a friend, and you're very important to me. I never thought that I just wanted to use you.
What does that matter? I have always been using you. I intend to continue using you. Don't make the mistake of considering me your friend.
Even if you're only using me, I'd still like you to be my friend. Is there a reason why I shouldn't? I can't tell if we're friends or not just because we're using each other. Even if we are using each other, as long as we're considerate of one another's feelings, that makes us friends. So, no matter what you think, I consider you a friend of mine.
I don't need friends.
Well, you got one anyway. No matter how you feel about me, you're my friend. You're special to me. For a short moment, we look one another directly in the eyes, without looking away. The clouds drift along behind us. Then,
if that's what you want to tell yourself, go right ahead.
But it seemed like Van Helsing's eyes had wavered slightly as he said this. Just for an instant. Only an instant, but I feel like I was able to touch the emotions that he usually keeps hidden from the rest of the world. Van Helsing, why do you have to kill Finnis? Where does this anger come from? Van Helsing turns his back to me and begins walking away without saying anything. Tell me, if you're going to use me and need me to stay close. I want to know as much as I can about you.
Revenge.
His response is short and firm.
I cannot forgive that man.
I sense a deep anger in his words, but before I can ask anything more, Van Helsing stalks off alone, almost disappearing into the darkness. I make my way back to St. Germain's mansion, on my own. Oh, I didn't even walk her home. I notice a small figure standing before the doors. Huh, you're finally back. It's so late. Deli looks up at me. Were you waiting for me? Why would you say that? It wasn't my idea. I'm just watching Cece. He's the one waiting for you. As if on cue, Cece pokes his head out from between Deli's legs. Cece. Cece happily runs in circles around me and Deli. When I saw your suitcase was gone, I thought you weren't coming back. Yes, I thought that too. Isn't Van Helsing with you? Lupin said he's going to be bringing you back. Van Helsing had somewhere to go. I suddenly remember that Deli despises Van Helsing. I don't know what exactly happened between the two of them, but Deli said that Van Helsing is the one who took his family away from him. You seem to like that man a great deal. I don't know if that's really the right way to put it. Hey, Deli, what you said about him, is it true? What do you mean? That he, your mother and father... Yes, he unquestionably killed them. I see. Although, with my mother, I only found her lifeless body later, and did not actually witness her murder. But from all appearances, it must have been he who dealt the blow. This is why I'm going to give you a warning. You shouldn't get deeply involved with that man. What? Have you forgotten? Once his goal has been accomplished, it is his fate to die by my hand. You are the one who told me that I don't have to be alone. When I kill him, and I will, I do not want to see you lamenting his death. Whatever's between the two of them is something I shouldn't interfere with. Being an outsider, I probably can't begin to comprehend the pain or suffering they've inflicted on one another. Why don't you hurry up and get inside? Everybody's waiting for your return. Yes, thank you for waiting for me here, Deli. Huh, thanks, Cece. Thank you too, Cece. I smile at Cece's response, then enter the mansion.
Cardia, you're safe. I'm so glad.
Yes, I'm sorry to worry you.
We were really turbo super extra worried.
Impy, I'm sorry. I'm fine, so please don't cry.
All that matters is that you're all right. I had faith you were safe. Welcome home.
Thank you for having faith.
I don't know what you were thinking, leaving without saying a word. Don't be such a stranger.
I just didn't want to cause trouble.
Trouble? What are you talking about? The real trouble would be to have you wander about by yourself.
I'm sorry.
We were all worried to death about you.
I see.
We're tougher than you think. No matter who you are, or what events we get drawn into, we can take care of each other. We need you. You need us. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Have you considered how what you've done has made us feel?
Yes.
That's fine then. I don't know about your past. I don't know what you want to do, or how things will be in the future, but one thing's for certain.
This place.
This, and nowhere else, is where you belong. You don't need to hold anything back.
They're all so warm and comforting.
Whoa, hey, what's wrong? Why are you crying? You hurt? Did you get wounded? Are you sick? Do you need me to take a look?
Thank you. I'm fine.
To begin, let me prepare some tea. Let us all take a break. We need to calm down.
Saint Germain's comment lightens the mood. Everyone is smiling, and I really do feel that I've come home. At the same time, I feel helpless and anxious because Van Helsing is not with us. After that, I tell everyone everything that had happened. They're all surprised, but nobody interrupts. They listen intently until I finish speaking. And that's everything I saw.
Whoa, that was some experience you went through right after you left.
Impy is the first to say anything after I'm done telling my story.
Whatever the case, I'm glad you're safe. We have Van Helsing to thank for that. I'm curious about the person who was controlling Jack. They claim to be after you, Miss Cardia.
Yes, it seems that way.
Azoth. That was what the voice telling Jack what to do was calling itself?
Yes, do you know what it means?
Yes, it's a word that all alchemists know. Azoth is another name for Mercury. I know that meaning too. What makes you think that this Azoth person named himself after Mercury? In the alchemical world, the word has a somewhat different connotation.
What does it mean then?
Azoth is used as another name for the Philosopher's Stone. It's been thought that the name implies both beginnings and ends, which could mean the person controlling Jack seeks to bring an end to something while also starting something else. I see. It takes the first letter in Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, and then the final letters of those alphabets. Azoth could indeed mean beginning and ending. It's a word with a divine nature, and symbolizes a perfect unification. So he's calling himself God or something? That's rather pretentious of him. Anyway, there's no question that it's you he's after, is there?
So it seems, Van Helsing thinks that Azoth is actually Finis.
Finis? That's impossible! Isn't he, you know? Yes, I wouldn't think such a thing would be possible, but...
The conversation dies for a moment. Finis definitely died. Everyone's probably thinking the same thing. Van Helsing. I wonder why he has so much hatred for Finis. We all look at one another.
Van Helsing was a member of Twilight. That means Finis was in position to give him orders. When the Vampire War came to an end, maybe that has something to do with why Van Helsing quit Twilight.
Everyone looks serious and falls silent. It can't be helped. We don't know anything for certain.
Either way, there's only one thing we can do right now. We need to hurry up and capture this Azoth fool.
I find it hard to believe that he's Finis himself. It's possible that it's someone else who has a connection to Finis.
I nod gravely.
By the way, where is Van Helsing? I had thought that he would be returning with you for sure.
I don't know. He just said to go ahead without him.
I see. Shall we go and start dinner then? You've been through a lot, so you must eat, sleep, and give your body a rest.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you. Things are peaceful for a while after that. However, I don't see Van Helsing again that whole day. That's the only thing that concerns me. That night, at midnight, in the forest near London.
Damn it! Hell! Why is it after me? Monster!
Footsteps draw near. The man's family and servants have all been murdered. There was nothing he could do. They were only props for the sake of appearance. He could replace them at any time, but he cannot replace his own life. He has run quite far already. He can see the faint lights of the city through the trees. Almost there. If only he can reach the gates. He suddenly hears the footsteps behind him.
I'm going to die.
He feels this instinctively and quickly spins around, drawing his pistol.
Damn you!
He fires without hesitation, but the figure he had sensed behind him is nowhere to be seen.
Huh? How could this be?
The thing that was chasing him is still out there, lurking in the darkness, waiting for its chance to strike.
Where are you? Come out, monster!
He wants to run as fast as he can, but he feels with great certainty that the moment he turns his back, death will leap upon him.
What do you want? Revenge? It means nothing! You lost! Your whole lot is doomed to extinction! Stop! Stop! Wow. Something brutal is going on here.
His screams finally stop. The only sound is that of the insects in the night. The next morning, I wake up in my bed. Last night I fell asleep the moment I lay down. I didn't realize it, but I must have been completely worn out, both physically and mentally. Compared to last night, my body and my mind feel much lighter. Oh. I look at the clock and see that it's already time for breakfast. They've worried so much about me, I should at least help. I think this as I rush to the dining room. Everyone has already gathered there.
You're late.
Van Helsing is here, and I sigh with relief. However, nobody is eating. There's tea and some simple snacks on the table. In the center is a single page from a newspaper. Good morning. It's past breakfast time, but did something happen? Van Helsing taps his finger on an article in the newspaper.
Azoth sacked it again. It seems that he's capable of moving quite quickly.
What? I read the article Van Helsing pointed out to me. A mass murder. The word Azoth written in blood. I furrow my brow and continue reading. Last night, in the forest near London, a Viscount Brandel's mansion was attacked. The man's family and servants were killed, and the yard announced that the wounds are consistent with an animal, like a bear. However, Viscount Brandel himself was found dead in the forest a small distance from his mansion. The word Azoth was written on the tree he was leaning against, apparently with what seemed to be the Viscount's blood. Scotland Yard has been under recent scrutiny after the attempted cover-up of Jack the Ripper's escape. A picture accompanies the article. It's a grainy photograph, showing the letters written on a tree in blood. This is the one who controlled Jack.
Most likely. Van Helsing, do you think this is also the work of Finis? He seemed to know about my past. That's all it takes for me to find him suspicious. I'm going to go to that location. What about the rest of you? I'll go, of course. As long as they're after her, we can't just stand aside and do nothing. Same here. Me too. I can't allow things like this to go on without doing anything. If all of you are going, I shall accompany you.
Thank you, everyone. I shall go this time as well. His voice comes out of nowhere. Deli, who so far has been avoiding the rest of us, is watching us intently. I'll involve myself in this incident. That's fine, but is something bothering you? Does anything about this stand out to you? I'm not going to say anything until I have proof. However, I cannot overlook this. Do you take issue with this, Van Helsing?
You don't need my permission.
Van Helsing says this curtly, then leaves the dining area.
Oh, he left without eating anything. It's not my fault if he passes out from hunger. It would seem that Van Helsing is having a difficult time remaining calm.
Yes, I won't let him go alone. Let's all go together. The others all agree.
Fine. I'll make him a sandwich or something. It's hard to say whether he'll have an appetite after seeing a murder scene.
I don't think he's squeamish. The crime scene isn't far, and we arrive at Viscount Brandel's mansion after an hour's walk. And this is where I'm going to end this video for now. We'll pick up with our investigation of the crime scene in the next video, so join me for that if you will, or perhaps you'll take a look at some of my other videos. I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.